Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to CADNEST online classes. CADNEST is an ISO certified computer training institution. The managing director is Mr. Prakash HM sir. The courses offered in our institutions are CAD courses, accounting courses, development and IT courses, digital marketing and animation course. We are located at 4 different branches: CADNEST RAJAJINAGAR, CADNEST BASAVANAGUDI, CADNEST SHESHADRIPURAM and CADNEST MALLESHWARAM. I welcome you all to this evening. So in today's class, the agenda is that we are going to discuss about MS Word. And myself, I am Pavitra. I am working in CADNEST from past 2 years as a computer trainer. The softwares I do teach is Basic, Tally and Advanced Excel. So without delay, we'll just start with the class for the day. As told, it is MS Word, which is the division or part of MS Office softwares. In the MS Office, we have 3 divisions. One is MS Word, second is MS Excel, and the third is MS PowerPoint presentation. So today we are going to deal with MS Word, Microsoft Word document. So let me give an introduction. So whenever you have to create certain files in the form of documentations, you can use MS Word. The full-fledged document can be prepared with the help of MS Word. In MS Word, I can prepare resumes, I can prepare question papers, articles, essays. If you want to prepare a full-fledged book, you can write down that in the MS Word. So whichever the tool you want to create a whole textbook or a book, you can just do that in MS Word. So that is a major software which everyone uses. So we'll begin with that. To access or open the MS Word, you just have to go for Start and WinWord. So you'll get an icon like this if you have the software. So presently I am using 2016 version. So based on your versions, the icons differs from one to another, but everything is same. So go for selecting a blank document. This is to minimize, maximize and close. So I'll maximize it into the entire screen. The very top line, wherever I can see here, is called as your title bar. Home, insert, design, layout, reference, mailings, review, view. All these are called as menus. If they tell you as if design menu, so it indicates you have to go for this. And same wise, layout menu, reference menu, mailings, etc. And whatever the small icons I can find here is called as tools. The tools which you use to modify or create your document. And this division is for clipboard, and this is for font, and this is for paragraph. Wherein I can name it as a ribbons. If I name as if a clipboard ribbon, I have to move on to clipboard ribbon. And font ribbon is this one, and this is a paragraph ribbon. It goes on from one to another. So based on your requirement, you can work with different ribbons and you can utilize different tools in it. And we have discussed about the ruler in yesterday's class. This line is called as ruler, which helps us to design the size of the sheet and to allocate the margin to the sheets. So that is the same usage in MS Word also. I have the top ruler as well and also the left hand side ruler. So based on your requirement, you can just go for changing the size of a ruler and you can change the size of your paper. We'll go with in detail. As discussed, same copy paste and cut paste. If I want to write the same information for repetitive times, we'll copy and we'll paste it. If I want to replace the text from one place to another, I'll select this, I'll cut, it disappears in this place, I'll place the cursor and I'm going to paste it. So the same thing we learnt in yesterday's class. And when it comes to font style, you can change the font style for your different paragraphs or lines or sentence. It's your requirement. But majorly when you're preparing a formal document, that is for the office use, you have to use a Times New Roman font or else the Calibri, not anything else, because that is not a formal handwriting which they use. So in whichever the textbook you may find it, it is of the Calibri or Times New Roman font. So Times New Roman I'm going to select here. And when it comes to size, always you have to use 11 size for the text of your informations. Whenever you are writing a heading, you can use 12 size. Only for heading it is 12, For the body text, you have to use 11 size, not more than that. The font you have to use is Times New Roman and the size is 11. And also you can just increase the size as per your requirement here, either here or else here, increasing font, decreasing font. It works the same as your WordPad. I can select the information. If I want to give a bold, italic and underline look, I can just go for applying it. This can be utilized to modify your headings. If you want to give a color for your underlining, you can just give different designs and also different colors. So if you don't want all these things, if you want to remove, select this, get back to the same options. It will remove all the options that you have applied to it. The next is strike through. If you want to strike through any of the information in your document, select the sentence, go for strike through option, it will strike through. If you want to remove this as well, select, get back to the same option, it will remove the strike through. In the same example, superscript and subscript. The chemical formula of water H2O, the 2 should appear below the line. Select 2, get back to subscript. And then 10th standard or 10th main, TH should appear above the line as discussed. So you have to use superscript. If I want to tell you the shortcut keys for that, Control is equals to, and for superscript it is Control Shift and is equals to. So this is for superscript and this is for subscript. If you want to remove, same procedure. So just click back on this option, it will remove all the words. Next is the sentence cases. When it comes to sentence cases, assume you have written something but you wanted to write it in capital letters. If you want to convert this into capital letters, select, go for uppercase. So I'll have a capital letters. If I want to convert this into lower letters at a time, go select lowercase. And then I can use capitalize each word. So in the entire line, whenever I start from a new word, the new word first letter will begin with the capital letter. The opposite of this is toggle case. So that is not much utilized in any of the document. The first one will be in small letter and the rest will be in caps. Need not to utilize this. Instead, you can go for sentence case. I'll tell you why. Whenever you prepare a document, the starting of a document should consist of a capital letter, and after every full stop you have to use a caps. But I have not done the same here. That is an error. So to correct all those errors, you can select the paragraph, get into cases and use sentence case. So it will auto correct all your errors. So this is why you use the sentence cases. Next comes the word art. If you want to design your headings but if you don't know the designing, instead you can use the word art here and design your text or the headings. If you want to give some additional art to that, get back. Here you can change the outline color of the text and you can go for giving a shadow to that. Here we have different options for shadows. If that is for a left hand side top or towards the front, you can just give as per your requirement. If you want to give a reflections, that is a mirror effect, you can just go for giving that as well. If you want to give a glow around it, you can give a glow around it. I'll go for more colors, I'll pick red. So this way you can go for designing it. If you are not okay with all these designs, if you want to remove, select the line, go for clear formats. You will have only the normal text. If you want again, you can just go for skipping that. Next is highlighter. If you want to highlight any of the important points in your document, you will select it, go for highlighter and highlight. If you want to remove highlights, select, get back to this and go for no color, you'll have only the text. Next is text color. If you want to design your headings with different colors, if you want to highlight that, you will select the headings, you'll get back to text colors, you can provide same as if you want to change the colors, you can go for changing colors. If you want to remove these colors as well, select and get back to the text colors and utilize automatic so that you'll have by default black color. If not, you can provide different colors to that. And later on it is a points. Whenever you want to write something on a points basis, same just like the WordPad, you can utilize the points here and you can apply points to that. Select the informations, get back to this, apply the points. Either it might be points, bullet points or tick marks or any of the designs you can apply. If you want to remove this, again select, get back to the same options and use none, so it removes all the points. In addition to that, in MS Word I can apply 1, 2, 3, 4 ABCD or Roman numbers to that. If you want to remove this as well, select, get back to the same option and use none. Next comes the points and subpoints utilization. If you have a main point and subpoint to that, you can use this option. And later on, these are all the important main points. We'll give enter. For example, I'll just note it down as A. So these are my subpoints. I have to apply subpoints to this. So select, get back to this bullets and apply bullet. So here you can see the changes, that is, this is my main points and this is my subpoints to list. So this way you can make changes in entire document. Again, if you don't want this, just go for selecting this and none. That's it. Next is line alignments. Same thing, if you want to align the information to the center of the page, Ctrl E is to center, Ctrl R is to right, Ctrl L is to left alignment. If you want to align the information in a proper way, select all, go for using justifications, Ctrl J is the shortcut key for that, so that the information will be arranged also on the left hand side and in the right hand side. Next comes the line spacing. The space between one line to another line can be changed here. So select the line formats, go for giving a line spacing as per your requirement. So always standardly they use 1.5 spaces between individual lines. If you require more number of spacing, you can give. If not, you can just go for having by default 1.0. So you can observe the changes. And also between individual paragraph I have a space. To remove this spacing, if you don't want the spacing, select, go for remove space after paragraph. If you want to apply the spacing, select, go for this and add space before or after paragraph. Both means the same. The next is highlighting. If you want to highlight your important points, just like your textbook, how do they highlight your headings? So you can do that as well. Select the heading, go for shadings and select the color. So you can apply that for all the lines. If you want to provide different colors for different lines, you can do that also. So then if you want to remove this highlighting, select the line that you want to remove and go for the same option and no color. So you'll have only the information. Next comes the border. So if you want to write a border below any of the lines or sentence, place your cursor there, go for borders and bottom border. I'll have a bottom border line. Same as if you want to apply to top, you can do that, or to left or to right. If you want to remove them, click on this icon and no border. Next comes the indent spacing. If you want to move the indent towards right hand side and increase the margin, you can increase that. If you want to decrease, you can decrease it back to its normal place. So this is about the font, clipboard and paragraph. I'll move on to the styles. So all these options can be utilized and you can design your document. If you're not okay with all those designing, if you don't have that much of time, instead once you begin with writing a document, you can go for selecting a different styles required. Select the style whichever you want to, and this is how it looks like. I'll just remove and show. Yeah, this is how it looks like. So if you want to remove this, select, go for normal selection. You'll have the normal informations in it. Next is find. If you want to search for any of the informations in this, you can utilize find. If you go for typing that particular word, it highlights the information in the entire document. Then replace. So instead of this one letter, if you want to write something else, you can just go for replacing. Just like your WordPad, if you use replace all, so wherever you had the will be replaced with A. So this way you can use, and then comes select all. Control A is the shortcut key. The entire document will get selected. By mistake, if you erase the document, to get back, Control Z, undo can be done. So you can move back to 15 different times of your work, and you can come back to different 15 times by using Control Y, redo. Control Z is to undo, you will move backwards. Control Y is to redo, you will move towards forward. The next comes the insert menu. So in the insert menu, I can go for applying tables into my document. So I will just get back to the last sheet so that I'll get more of the space to write something. Here in the table selection, I can go for adding the number of rows and number of columns required. So it will be applied in my document also. And now you can observe the options was just till view until I apply a table. So once I apply a table, I have design and layout additional menus, which are utilized to make changes in your table. So table ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ design layout option ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Table ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ design ಮತ್ತೆ layout option ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೇಔಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಟೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So here I'll place the cursor inside it. If I press on enter, it increases the space. If I give backspace, it decreases the space. With the help of this corner, I can click and drag to the required size. If you place the cursor at the last, if you press on the tab button in your keyboard, it increases the number of rows. Addition to that, we'll get into the layouts. Here, I want to insert the line above this. So what do I do? Example, I have written a serial number but forgot to write the heading of the table. So what do you do is, you'll go for insert above, you'll have the entire row. Same as if you want to insert below the line, you'll go for insert below. If you want to insert a column next to it, example, I have written a serial number 1, 2, 3, so and so. I'll write down as 4, but I wanted to write 3, but I have not written it. So what do you do is, place the cursor here, go for insert left. So it will insert a left column behind it. Same wise, you can apply one more column next to this. Next to 4, we'll go for insert right. It will apply one more column. Next is merge cells. As I have told, I wanted to write a heading here, but I have not written. But I want the space here instead of the columns. So select this, go for merge cells. You'll have a blank space. You can write down anything you want. I'll just write down as timetable. So you can just modify. Then is split table. Split cells. If you want to split a single cell into different one, you'll go for split cell. It will ask you for the number of columns and number of rows. You can select the number and change it. I'll go for applying 2 columns in 1 row, which means in one box I'll have 2 columns. Click on OK, you'll have the changes. And next to that split table, you have a table and you want to divide this table into 2 halves. Place the cursor here, go for split table. The table will get divided into 2 different tables instead of 1. Next is, you can increase the height, you can increase the width, vice versa, you can decrease the height and decrease the width of your table. And then as text locations or text directions. I have written as 1000 here. I want to change this direction. What do I do is text direction. So it moves to different corners of my table. And then if you want to delete the row, select the row which you want to delete, go for deleting options and delete row. If you want to delete the column, select the column, go for delete and delete column. If you want to delete the entire table, place a cursor on this, go for delete and delete table. And then if you want to delete one cell, you can select delete cell. It will ask you for different option. So if you delete this cell, it will shift the other cells into left hand side. It is asking me the same. Okay, so click on it. So what happens is one cell will be deleted, the other cells whichever was there on the right hand side will move back. So that is what is meant by this. And then I can use draw table option and I can draw a table on my own. You'll find this option only in layout. And then if you want to erase, you will use the eraser and you can erase any rows or any columns, your wish. And then I'll come back to the design. So for the table you can apply different designs. So here are different designs which are available in your MS Word, that is inbuilt. You can select the one required. And now the columns are not visible. To apply columns, click on this plus icon, go for the borders and all borders. And that's about your design and layout. I'll come back to insert. So we'll discuss about the other options. So assume you're preparing a document and you want to insert a picture next to that. So you have observed in your school days, in your textbook, they used to give a photograph of an information and they used to give as a refer the figure number 1 and 2 for the experiments, so and so. Same wise, if you want to insert a picture into this, you'll go for pictures. It will display the file locations in your document. You can just go for selecting the location where you have a picture. Select the picture required which you want to insert into your document and just go for clicking on insert. It will be inserted into your document. And later on, once I insert a picture, we can see the option, additional option called as format. So this format option is to make changes in your picture. So here I can go for corrections, that is I can give a dark look or light look to the pictures, as you can see the changes here. If you want to change the color of that, you can go for changing the color. And artistic effect, which means the drawing look can be provided to that. And next to that, I can apply different picture styles. So in the picture styles, I can apply borders. It might be your square, oval, 3D rotations or bevel shapes. So it depends on your requirement. I'll just go for selecting this. And next to this, if you want to make additional changes, you'll go for making changes in your picture border color. I'll just go for applying red and picture effect. If you want to give a shadow look for your picture, you can apply a shadow. If you want to give a reflection to your picture, you can give a reflections to it. If you want to give a glow around it, you can give a glow around the picture. And you can give soft edges, but for the soft edges, you should not apply borders as I have applied here. Get back to picture style, remove the border, and now come back to pictures effect and soft edges. So what happens is the corner points of a picture will keep on decreasing. And bevel shapes can be applied, that is pop-up look can be given for your picture. And next to that, you can apply a 3D rotations. So this way you can go for making any changes as per your requirement. And then comes the position. So I cannot drag the picture to any of the corners until I define a position. I'll just go for positions. I'll define a position of the picture, that is to the top of the sheet or mid or bottom or any of the corners. And later I can just click and drag the picture to any side of the sheets. Next is wrap text. The wrap text is used to wrap the information that you have written here along with the picture that you have applied. So wrap text here, square. So it will arrange in the square format. And then if you want to apply tight, you can do the same and through. All these are same. You can go for top and bottom. You'll have the information at top and bottom. The picture will be in between the two. And then you can use behind the text. The picture will move behind the text that you have written. Same as if you want to bring it towards forward, you can use wrap text in front of the text. So the same option are in bring forward and send backward. Will not touch that again. And crop. Same as how do you crop the pictures that you have in your cell phone. You can just go for cropping the picture here. So I'll just crop the size. Enter. And then comes increasing of height and increasing of width, vice versa to decrease your height and decrease your width of the picture. So this is how all the picture works with. You just have to put on your practice. I'll move on to the insert. Online pictures, if you want to download directly, it is the option. And then comes the shape. I'll select the shape required. If I click and drag, I'll get the particular shape into my document. And this shape can be changed with the help of format options. So in the format option, I can just go for changing the colors in it. And if you want to change the shape fill here, you can change the shape color here also. And you can provide a border to that and shape effect. Same as how do you provided a shadow, reflections, glow, soft edges for your picture, you can do the same thing for your shape as well. And then comes the word art. If you want to write something inside this, example, I want to write down as CAD nest, have written here. If you want to change this text effects, you'll go for word style. You can just go for changing this. And later, in this word style, if you want to change the text color, you can just go for changing the text color. If you want to change the outline of your text color, you can just go for changing that as well. For the text, you can provide a shadow, and for the text, you can apply a reflections. For that, you can also apply glow, bevels, 3D rotations, and the additions is transformation. You can just use transformations and make changes in this. Okay. Then as text direction, you can change the direction of the text. This is in the horizontal way. If you want to convert this into 90 degree, you can do the same, or into 270. So it's on your requirement. I'll just go for horizontal back again. So I have a text box here, or the shape here. I have written a text in it. I want to write the text from the beginning. So what do? I'll go for align text to the top, or if you want to the mid or to the bottom. Next is defining the position of your shape, and then you can wrap the text around it according to your requirement. It might be a square or tight, true, top and bottom, behind the text or in front of the text. Same wise, you can increase the height or increase the width, vice versa to decrease it. So this way you can go for making changes. Next we'll get back to the Smartart. A Smartart which indicates the graphical representation of the informations. I'll show you with the example. In the Smartart, we have different options. I can use list, process, cycle, hierarchy, relationship, pyramids, depending on your information what you have to write. I'll go with the cycle. In the cycle, I can write down the food chain or the management cycle or anything, whatever you want to represent it with. So I'll select this, I'll click on OK, and I'll write the product life cycle. So then I'll find the design and format option. So in the design, I can go for changing the designs as well, and I can apply different colors to that. If I want to apply one more changes into it, I can apply it through the Smart Style. And then comes, I'll move on to the charts. So if you want to apply chart, so which is a graphical representation for your statistical data, you can apply charts. We'll go for chart. In this, there are many options, whether you want the line chart, pie, bar, area, scatter. We'll go for the example of column chart, which is easy to understand. Select the one and just go for clicking on OK. By default, the Word will give me the Excel sheet. The Excel sheet is to write your informations. So ivaga nange ondu statistical data ide, data na nan baribekandre adu nange Excel sheet karkondu hogutte. If you write the information in your Excel sheet, then the chart will be applied into your Word. So you can just select this and you can remove everything and you can write your own data. But here I will retain the same information. So if you close this Excel sheet, you'll have the chart into your document. And later on, relating to chart, if you want to make any changes, you'll make that in the design and format. So then I can make the changes in the chart designs, and if you want to change colors, you can go for changing the colors as well. So later on, if you want to change the chart type itself, so instead of bar chart, if you want to apply pie chart, you can go for change chart. We'll select a pie chart and just OK. So you'll have the pie chart here. And if you want to apply a quick layout, so here I cannot find the numbers, so I'm not getting to know as what is the portion applied by it. So I can just go for applying this, which indicates the different portions acquired by my divisions in pie chart. And then if you want to apply a chart title, you can go for above the chart here. Assuming as if sales for the year, I can write down as sales. And then in the same way, if you want to apply data labels, you can apply that. That is to the center, inside and outside, or best fit. Which means this numbers, you can arrange that as per your requirements. And then comes the legends. You can apply legends either towards top, right, anywhere. Which means this green color is indicated with the category number 1 and this with the category 4. And this blue is for category 2, and this yellow is for category 3. So that is what it indicates. This way you can go for making your changes. And then is a screenshot. If you want to apply a screenshot for your document, you can apply a screenshot to that. So go for screenshot and screen clipping. It will take you back to the previous page. So here I can take a screenshot of anything that I want to take out with. Yeah, that photo will be applied into my document and it works same as your picture. Then is hyperlink. If you want to create a link between one document to another document, you can use hyperlink. Select the line, go for selecting hyperlink and select the document which you want to create a link between this to the another one. Click on OK and it creates a link. So now if you want to access, so click on the right click and go for open hyperlink and it will ask you for the confirmations. And here it will take you into the document which you have connected to that. Then is bookmark. If you want to highlight or mark any of the important sheets, you can use bookmark and you can mark it as if important and you will add. By the next day if you want to access this sheet, the chart sheet particularly. So if you're here, if you want to move to the sheet, you'll go for bookmark, select the one, go for go to. So it will take you to the second sheet where you had the chart. Then as headers and footers. If you want to apply a common heading for all the sheets, you can use headers. You'll go for headers. You'll get all the list of headers available. You can select the one that is required for you and this applies this. Here I want to go for applying a title to that. I'll write down as MS Word class. So the same title will be applied to all the sheets. So you'll have the MS Word class title to all the sheets because we have applied it through the headers. Same as to the bottom of the sheet. If you want to write something, you can go for footers and select the footers that is required by you. And this is how it looks like. And if I want to write down the address or something, I can just go for writing it. Same footers will be there in all the sheets. As you can observe here, I'll go for the first sheet. Even there I'll have the same footers. And then if you want to remove headers and footers, we'll come back to the insert. Click on this arrow mark, go for remove headers. Also in the footers, go for remove footers. Next comes the page number. Assume you have written a document for 100 and number pages. You cannot number each and every page individually. It's waste of time. So at point of time, you can go for page numbers, select the format. If you want to apply to the top of the page or bottom, margins, current position, your wish. Select the one and just apply it. You'll have the page number for all the sheets that you have worked on the document. This is my page number 3 and this is my page number 2 and this is my page number 1. By default, it will apply for all the pages. And later on, if you want to remove this page number that you have applied now, you'll just go for insert, page numbers and remove page numbers. The next one is text box. If you want to write something on text box that you can find in your textbook as if points to remember, or you work on these questions just like that, you'll use the text box. You'll have a format like this. So if you want to apply any, just go for selecting it. It will be applied into your document. If you want to make changes, you will remove the text. You will write something. You can change the text color or the text box color. Anything can be made, just like your shapes. If you want to delete, select and get back to delete button. It will delete that into your document. Drop cap option, which is used in your newspapers to highlight the important informations, just like that. Example, if I want to arrange this D into 2 to 3 different lines. So what do we do is select the particular letter that you want to highlight, go for drop cap and use dropped option. So it will be highlighted into the different line sections. I hope you have seen this in the newspapers. If you want to merge this into only 2 lines, we'll go for drop cap and drop cap options and select this into the 2 lines, only specify the number as 2 and OK. It will be merged into only 2 lines. Then as equations, if you are writing something on equations, if you are working on the mathematical document, you can use this equations option. Here I can find all the equations, either it might be fractions, script, radicals, integers or brackets. So all these options or the keys will not be available in your keyboard. You can utilize it from here and you can write something into your document. And then comes the symbol. If you want to insert any symbol into your document, you'll go for symbols and more symbols. You can select the symbol that is required for you. Yeah. Select and go for insert. Wherever you had your cursor, there it will apply you with the applies you with the particular symbol. So that is how you can work with symbols. You can find the registration symbol here or the scissors or hyphens. Anything can be utilized from symbols. So that's about your insert. If there is any doubt relating to this, please let me know. Next we'll move on to the design. Whatever the informations you have written in the document, if you want to apply a design to it by default, you can utilize the option called as design. I'll select the informations. I'll come back to home. I'll select any one of the style. Without the style, I'll not get any changes in the design. That is the reason. I'll come back to theme. In the theme, I have different options. So select the one which you are required with. And then if you want to change the font style, you can go for making changes in font style also. And next comes the watermark. That is the ghost text appearance behind the screen is called as your watermark. So I'll go for watermark. And here I have the samples as confidential and do not copy. I'll select confidential so that you'll have as if the confidential in all the sheets. You cannot apply it for one particular sheet. It will be there in all the sheets, as you can see here. If you want to change this into your name, you'll go for watermark, custom watermark. In the place of this confidential, you can just give it as if your name. I'll give as CADD nest. You can change the font style you have required with. And also you can change the color. Apply and just close this so that I'll have the same watermark in all the sheets. Then as page color, if you want to change the color of your page, you can just go for making changes. Then page border, if you want to apply borders, here I have different options. So I can select the option that is required for me. I can change the colors as well. And then here I can change the size. Okay, I have only one size. Just click on OK. You will have the same border in all the pages of your document. So that's about design, which is simple. Then comes the layout. So before taking a printout, you have to make certain adjustment in your layout. That is designing your margins or the size of your papers or something else. Always we have to give margin to our sheets. I'll go for margins, and here I can see normal margin, and here top 1 inch, bottom 1 inch, left 1 inch and right 1 inch, which indicates that is 1 inch of space or will be given in the entire document. In the 1 inch it will not list me any of the information. 1 inch will be given for the margins. Except this, if you want to give any other margins, you can just go for selecting that. But I'm okay with normal, I'll go with the same. If you have some other requirements, you'll go for custom margin. You can give the numbers that you have required with, and okay, you'll have the same margins in your sheet. Next is orientations. As you can see, portrait and landscape in your cell phone. Here also we have portrait and landscape option. Orientations means portrait, more of height, less width. Present we are with. I can apply landscape. I'll have more width and less height in my sheet. So this way you can make changes. Generally we use portrait size. When it comes to size of the paper you can select accordingly. Generally we take a printout in A4 sheets, so the size will be A4. Or if you're working on the articles or some books, based on the size of your book, you can select the sizes here. The numbers are mentioned here. Next comes the column work. You can divide the informations into 1 column, 2, 3 based on your requirements. Example, I'll just select this paragraph. I'll come back to column. I'll divide this into 2 columns. So once I'm done writing here, then if I go for writing it nextly, so it will give me the information in the next column. Then is break. If you want to give a break, or these 2 paragraphs should be in this page and the rest should move on to the next sheet, you'll place the cursor here, you'll go for break and page break. This 2 paragraph will retain in this page itself, and the next information will go for the next pages. And then line numbers. For each and every line, if you want to write as if 1, 2, 3, 4 series number, you will go for line numbers continuous. You will have the continuous numbers next to each other. Assuming here I have done with 37, it starts from 38 in the next page. But if you want to begin with 1 in the next page, you will go for line numbers, restart for each page. So whenever you start with a new page, you will have the serial number as 1. Then again, if you want to remove this, you will go for none in the line numbers. You don't have the line numbers for everything. Yeah, next comes indent. You can increase the indent or decrease it. So this is the same as your indent option in your home menu. And the spacing between individual paragraph can be increased or can be decreased here. And this position, wrap text, bring forward, all these are options relating to format. When I applied a picture, we got the format option. There I gave the position, wrap text option. That is the same option. If you apply any of the pictures here now, the options will be displayed. I'll just show you. So in the design, in the layouts, this will be active now. If I delete this picture, so it will not be active. So it is same as your reference. Next, we have to deal with the reference, wherein I have the option called as table of contents, which means the index of the book. So whenever you turn a book, you'll find the index, which means the contents of a book will be written in it. They'll specify the title and the number of page next to that. If you want to create that, you have the option called as table of contents in this. You can do with this. I'll show you with one example. I'll convert this into the heading number 1. So here in the home menu, I'll have the option. I'll convert this into the heading number 2. Same as you can divide that in the entire document. And next to that, you'll place the cursor at the very beginning of the document. And now we'll come back to reference, table of contents. Select the style of you have required with. So it will automatically give you the content box. So this content box tells me that in the page number 1, the first heading is video providers. Second one is to make your document. So this way it will create its own table of content. And then if you want to add the text, I'll just copy the same information. I'll go for the sheet number 2. I'll paste the same information, which means in the sheet number 2, again the heading number 1 is video and the second one is to make your document. So to update this into the table, what you do is update table, update the entire table and OK. You'll have the information again back into your table. Next is insert footnote. Next to the individual sheets, if you want to write something, the additional information, you can use footnote. We'll go for insert footnote. It will apply it. If I want to write down as if Rajajinagar, I can write down. And this footnote will not be there in next sheet. The footnote is for individual sheet. If you apply footers that I have taught in insert, this footer will be there in all the sheets. Note the difference. That's what is important in this. And next is bibliography. We'll go for inserting bibliography when you prepare a certain articles or when you work on projects. If you're working on project, you will search the information from different sources. So all those sources should be mentioned in your project, because if someone else's information if you're taking out, it is not legal. To provide the proof to that, as if you have copied from this website or if you have copied from this book, you have to provide that in bibliography. That is what is the usage. To apply bibliography, you'll go for insert citations, add new sources. Assume you have copied it from book, you will write down as book, and who was the author of that book, you can just write down that. I'll just write down as Robin. And what is the title of that book, you can just write it down. The monk, and the year of publications of that book can be written here. And which city they published with, who is the publisher, will give the details and you'll click on OK. And to add one more details, you'll go for insert citations, add new source. Instead of book, you can go for journal, article, periodical, essay, your wish. I'll write down as Smith. The title I'll write down as The Dream. And OK. So I have given two information. To create bibliography, come back to bibliography and apply it so that you will have the form of bibliography in the document. Always bibliography should be presented in the last sheet of your document. Remember that. And next is captions. Assume this is the table I have in the document, and also I'll have one more table in the next upcoming paragraphs. Here. So now I have to apply a title to this. Instead of typing every time, come back to reference, insert caption. So as this is a table, select the table. By default it is table number 1. Click on OK. So it applies. For the second table, go for insert caption. By default it is 2. Click on OK. Same as you can use it for figures or for the equations also. So that's about a brief information about the references, and the much of the options here are not much useful for us. We'll ignore. So next, the important one is mailings. So mailings in the sense, whenever you want to send the same information for more number of users at a time, you will use the mailings. Okay, because each and every time for 100 members, I cannot write the mail and I cannot send them. At a time, if I keep it as a template, I can send it for all the people. So that is why we use the mailings. We'll see with the example. Obviously, from address should be there. From Catnest, Rajajinagar. It is for 2. I'll leave the space blank because 2, which means receivers, recipient list is more in number. I'll not give the details here now, as of now. So lastly, we'll thank you, so and so will be done. And then we'll come back to mailings. Start mail merge. Step by step mail merge wizard. The dialog box will appear like this. So what type of document are you working on? Either you can select letter or email. Both works the same. So I have 1 out of 6 steps to follow. So go for next. In this, how do you want to set up your letter? It might be using the current document or from different templates. As I want to send the same document, I have to use the current document. And you will go for the next. Select recipients, which means the receivers. If you have a list, you can just go for select directly. If you want to create now, type in new list and create. The title. Assume I am calling up for a meeting for all these people. The first name will be Banu and the last name will be Priya. And the company, again, I'll give it as a cat nest. And the address of that person. First name, PSG, city, Bangalore, state, Karnataka, zip code of the person, country, home phone numbers, work phone number, and email address. So this way you have to fill all the information relating to the receivers. So I'm done with one person. If I want to add one more person's detail, I'll go for new entry. Give the detail of that person as though. So once you're done giving the list of all the information, you'll click on OK. And the next to that, it will ask you to save the document. Give it as if the name, I'll just list as if mail and save. So once you are done saving, it will ask you to cross-refer whether everything is correct or not. If anything is wrong, you can just go for select and edit. If that is correct, go for OK directly. And in the same third step, you should not move to any of the steps. In the same third step, go for insert merge fields and double click on all these items so that this will get inserted into my document. Close this. And divide all these individual information into different lines, as it should appear between one line to another, not in a single line. Once you are done dividing it, after third step, move on to fourth, fifth, sixth directly, edit individual letters, all and OK. So I have given the details of two person. First was Banu Priya. I have a letter for her here, or the email. So next was Asha. So I have the letter for her also. So this way you can divide the letter into any number of people. So note this is quite important. Try to make a trial and error at your home. So the last review and view, which is a bit easy thing, we'll finish it up. Spelling and grammar. If you have any spelling and grammar error in your document, you can go for correcting it here. We'll go for spelling and grammar. It will highlight the wrong spelling you have given. You'll select the correct one and go for change. It will change in your document. Select the correct spelling and change. So we are done with correcting it. Next is treasure. Assume I have to search for the meaning of document. I don't know the meaning. So select, go for treasure. Here it will give me the meanings. If document means text, file, articles, essay, paper, manuscript. And then word count. You're done preparing a document, but you don't know how many words that consist of. You cannot count as if 1, 2, 3, 4 entirely full. It's waste of time. We'll go for word count. It will tell me as if how many pages I have worked, how many words, how many characters with spacing and without spacing, and how many paragraphs and lines. In translate language, these two are to translate this document into different languages. That's it. And whenever you are submitting a document to your managers or any of them in your company, if any of them send you a document, if you want to make sure that you want them to make changes in it, you will select the place where you want to indicate the changes. You'll go for new comment or add comment. You can write down as if make changes here. And now if you send this document to them, so by the time they can read this comment and they can understand what is the thing they want to do next. And same as if you want to add more of them, you can add. If you want to move to previous one, you can move. If you want to delete, you can delete them. So next is track changes. If you're working in a company, if you want to track the changes, if you don't want others to make changes in the document you have prepared, you can enable this track changes option. So if they try to make changes in the document, it will highlight me with the color, which means they have made a changes here. Again, I'll make changes here, so it is highlighting me here as well. If you want to remove this, you can go for accepting that if you want to, or reject if you don't want that changes. Okay, let me tell you. So if you want to restrict this, just like you provide a password for your cell phone, you can go for formatting restrictions and editing restrictions. And here you have to select as if filling in the form, and it will ask you to give the password to that. You can encrypt that by giving a password to it and encrypt. If you want to make changes in it, by the next time if you give a password, only then you can make changes in this. If not, you cannot make changes. And then view, read mode. So this is how it appears in the full screen. And then print layout. This is the view, how does it looks when you take a printout. Web layout, if you publish this information on website, this is a view. And outline is outline draft, it is same as your web. If you don't want the ruler, you can remove the ruler. If you want, you can apply. Grid lines, for the graphical works you can apply this. If you don't want the grid lines, you can remove that as well. And navigation pan, it gives the picture of your document. You can verify your headings, you can verify your pages. If you have multiple pages, if you want to move from one to another, so at that point of time, instead of scrolling down every time, if you apply navigation, it shows different pages. If you want to move to second page, just click on this, you'll be there in second. If you want to move back to first, you'll be there in first page. So it works the same. And you can zoom in the document to the required size, or you can zoom out. If you want to have a normal look, use 100% view. And one page, this is a one page view, you have to scroll down for each and every next one, or you can use multiple pages. This is my page number 1, 2. If you have many pages, it appears next to each other continually. And then page width, it will zoom in, that's it. Next comes the new windows. If you want to have the copy of same document in the new window, you will use new window. So I'll have the same document with 2 different copies. So this is utilized when you are cross-referring something, or when you are referring this document and making changes in the next one. I'll go for arrange all. So it will arrange, this is my first and this is second. So I'll just go for scrolling down. So by looking at this, in the second document, so here I can go for making changes. So this is how you work with that. And then split screen, if you want to split the particular document into 2 different screens, you can divide like this. So here I can see 2 rulers at a time. So this will be constant, I can move upwards or I can move towards, or this will be constant. In this I can move upwards or move downwards. This is to cross-refer and work. If you want to remove the split, you can remove that. And switching the windows. From the first document copy, I can move on to second document copy, or second to 1. So this is about the MS Word. So if there is any doubt relating to this, please let me know. Yeah, and that's it for the day. You can all leave. Thanks for joining. Bye.